Communication Error.
Welcome to episode 27 of the Communication Error Podcast, a gaming debate podcast where we may not always agree, but if we listen to what one another has to say, maybe we'll be able to fix our communication error. I'm one of your hosts, Cheesy, and the man I think that has put in the most hours into Super Mario Bros. Wonder already, John Ebo.
What's up? Yeah, I think today, no, probably tomorrow is when I find out how much time I put into it. I don't think
7 days.
Yeah, the 10 days or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been a ton. It's probably been like 30 hours, which is still a lot for like a week and 3 days.
I think, well, you said on the Nintendo Powercast, which everybody should listen to, you've played more Wonder than you have of Vampire Survivor.
Yeah, officially surpassed Vampire Survivors.
So is this the final word that we get to hear about Vampire Survivors?
No. Everybody buy Vampire Survivors. It's well worth their $5. Well worth it. Or buy the Suika game, whatever. That one's $3.
Oh, I mean, that watermelon game. Is it possible to get more than one watermelon?
I don't know. I've not even gotten a watermelon.
Oh,
I haven't played it a ton. I've gotten the one before the watermelon.
Yeah, which I think is just a melon. I don't know what to call that one.
I did like how, it's a $3 game, but they had like a Halloween event.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, there's like two there's the regular theme and then there's the Halloween theme.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they'll have like a holiday theme going forward.
I don't know. I think they probably sold way more than they were ever expecting.
Yeah.
And there's not much content in there it's only local leaderboards and then high score. That's about it. But I've seen so many people play that game.
Yeah, so I mean, I play it online, the free version, and that's still just as fun as what you get on the Switch. And if you're wanting to play on the go, I guess you could bring your Switch with you, but it's a lot easier to just play on the phone. And,
No. Because that's the same argument that people have with Calculator. It's just a completely different experience on the Nintendo Switch.
How could I forget? I'm so sorry. I misspoke on that one. But yeah, no, you were playing the Halloween event for, how do you say it?
So I think it's Suika. I think it's Suika.
Suika? Okay.
Does that mean watermelon? I'm assuming that means watermelon.
That would be a good guess. Yeah.
Somebody let us know because I don't know. But yeah, I'm trying to get as much out of Super Mario Bros. Wonder as I can. I love the game. Even last week, I put up a question if people liked. Do you like Super Mario Bros. Wonder on Spotify? And we got 3 comments. Fierce Link said, definitely enjoyed what I played so far. Haven't had much time to dedicate to it, so I'm concerned about spoilers. Bowser's in the game, sorry. Perhaps that would make for an episode spoiler versus spoiler free. That's actually a pretty good one. I do kind of like. What's the standard talking about spoilers and what makes a spoiler a spoiler? I like that.
Yeah, I actually wanted to shout out Metroid Dread the other day for its second anniversary. And
was it, or is it second? Yeah.
I think second, because it came out 2001 or not 2001. I'm sorry.
That's that's more than second. That's 21st.
Yeah, the 21st. But anyway, I was gonna post a spoiler, and I was like, "Is this okay?" I mean, it's like 2 years old already, but there's probably people that haven't played that are wanting to play. So, like, is there a way to spoil a game, or like should people have already played it? So yeah, I think we should save that topic for sure.
We'll write that down. John from the future commented as well, and I do believe this is me. This is kind of freaking me out. Because he said, yes, but the game is way too easy, which I agree.
Yeah, you have said that.
Even without standees, which I agree. The final challenge, which is pretty good, is also a little too easy in my opinion. I don't agree with that one. I do think that is a good challenge. But they do. But he does say great game overall, though. So
Yeah. So Johnny and I had the pleasure of being on All In podcast where we talked a whole review of Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and that will be put out on Saturday. So make sure you check that out. Send some love their way. Give them 5 stars. And you know what? Tell them that we sent you. Give them a 5-star and say that Communication Error sent you their way. So yeah, you'll hear all of our thoughts on there. And overall, just to kind of sum it up for our listeners, we enjoy it. But what Johnny said is that he just wants more. And I don't think that that's too much to ask. Like, it's a great game, but it is kind of short and easy, and you just want more of it and more of a challenge.
Yeah, and I guess just the last comment here from Gotham. Absolutely love Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and I've aired my grievances, but overall I really do enjoy the game. Like Cheesy said, I just want more, and I'm actually trying to make the most out of it. I have no Wonder Flower run going right now, where I'm trying to beat the whole game without using a Wonder Flower, or really just trying to figure out if you could beat the whole game without using Wonder Flower. I'm also trying to beat all the levels with the invisibility badge on.
Mm-hmm.
And then who knows what else I'll try to think of. Maybe I'll do the spring badge because I hate that badge. The one that just keeps bouncing. I can't stand it.
I think you need to do the dolphin kick one and find a way to
But that
dolphin
doesn't
kick
matter.
at every level.
Just flop around in the fountain in the first level.
Yeah.
But
See
yeah,
if you can do it.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna self-promote right now. But check out the videos on my YouTube channel. I'm streaming on Twitch again, twitch.tv/JohnnyBo. That's where I'm gonna be doing the invisibility run. And yeah, just follow all my socials. I'm very motivated right now. I actually have time, and it feels good. Feels real good.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's cool to see your content. And I see it on my timeline, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna watch it just out of spite.
Ouch. Or you click on it and then click away right away, so my average view duration is super low, and they don't push it out.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I guess you can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, CheezyC64, CheezyC64, also on Nintendo Powercast. We did want to give a shout out to Carpool Gaming, who is part of Extra Life this week. So while you're listening to this, they are probably live supporting a good cause. So if you can, make sure you can go over and donate to them. If you don't know what Extra Life is, it is a gaming community that is helping kids and parents in need. So it's a really good cause.
Yeah, I am. You'll probably see me in the streams this week because I'll be over there.
Yeah. And leave us 5-star reviews. You know how it goes. And if you hate the podcast, still a 5-star review. But you got to tell us why you hate it.
Yeah, give us 5-star reviews on Apple, Spotify, probably on Google, and Amazon. I think we're on Amazon. I don't know. I can't see the analytics for every platform, which is kind of weird. So just wherever you're at.
Yeah, we're in the Amazon. We're in the jungle. We're in the ocean. We're everywhere.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well.
Leave a 5-star review. We'll read it on next week's community patch notes episode, as well as comments and questions and all of that. And if you're listening to this, it is probably Halloween.
Whoa.
And the most spooky conversation that we could think of is, what is a cozy game?
Yes.
I don't know.
I Googled it.
To me,
I Googled
good.
it.
I was hoping you were going to do your
I
research.
did my typical research. I put a little bit of extra time in researching this. I looked at a couple articles as opposed to one.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's because you have all this free time now.
yeah, exactly. So I googled cozy game definition.
Okay, well, for me, hold on. Like,
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
you
what a
say what it
cozy
is.
game.
Yeah, you say
Well,
what
I
you
don't
think
know
it
what a
is.
cozy game is
Say
because to
what you
me,
think it is. Just say what you think
I
it is.
think I think any game is a cozy game if you were just sitting on the couch or a chair or in your bed because you're cozy while you're playing it. But there's like an actual genre of cozy games, and just to quote my wife, who grew up on a farm, farming sims are not cozy games. Like
Oh, I don't know. I think you just triggered everybody that considers themselves a cozy gamer right now.
but it's not. I mean, like if you actually do work on a farm, that's not cozy. If
Yeah, but
Drew
you're
from
not doing
if
manual labor in these games. Like you don't have to actually hoe the or what do they call it? Hoe the fields.
yeah,
Is that
you're
right?
correct. I don't know. It sounds good.
Roll up the hail bale. You don't have, well, I guess there is a game where you can milk the cows. There's 1-2
Uh,
switch where you get to milk the cows.
yeah, and it's tiring because you gotta be fast at that one. But I don't know if Drew from Nintendo House is listening, which is another great podcast everyone should listen to, or House of Mario. I'm sorry, it's House of Mario.
You were close.
They would probably agree that it is not a cozy activity.
Well, yeah, I mean the act of farming I could see,
Uh-huh.
but like in games, you're not doing all of the manual labor that you would have to do. There. Well, now we just thought of a game, and we could use the Joy-Con as because they have motion control,
Right.
and we can make a farming game where you actually do the activities.
Oh yeah.
You can rake
Dude,
some leaves.
oh my god, you know how well Ring Fit Adventure did?
Oh yeah,
We're doing that with farming sims.
yeah, and
We're
and the you know how they had the ring for the ring fit.
yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
make a hoe. We're gonna make a hoe for the farming sim.
Yeah. Is that all that we're gonna do? Just a hoe?
Just a hoe.
I
Just
think
because
this
I
is,
like the double entendre of it all.
right, right. And this is like probably the only episode that we're gonna get away with saying hoe in that
I'm gonna say
context.
so many hoes this time. Get your hose ready.
Hoe's mad.
All right. Well, you're wrong about your
Okay.
what a cozy game is. Now, I don't think there's
Okay.
an official genre of cozy games, not like platformers or shooters or stuff like that. I think it's just like an encompassing feeling. I'm gonna say like a feeling, like how the
Okay.
game makes you feel. So
Sure.
this is from Reddit, very reliable source.
Yeah, good research.
Says the genre cozy games defines as games that are not too much action, fighting, and stress. They usually have a friendly setting and cute/soothing optics. The perfect examples are farming and management games and many indie games.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely see probably the most cozy games from indie developers. I mean, there was that whole which direct was it that was all farming sims?
Yeah,
You remember that?
yeah, I do.
Yeah,
It
because
was,
of
yeah, it was like
how
10 farming
successful
sims.
yeah, how successful Animal Crossing New Horizons was. Everybody was like, we have to jump on that money.
Yeah, and I think like yeah, farming sims are everywhere. I even so my partner is not a gamer,
Hmm.
but she was at a conference. I don't know if I should say what kind of conference because it's like it was a librarian conference. Which did you even know they had librarian conferences?
Yeah, I was a little because I knew what conference you were talking about, but I was wondering why you were like afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to. She's probably not listening, but if she
Oh,
is,
you know what? We probably have to be like really quiet about it because it's a
oh
librarian
wow,
conference. So
okay.
they probably
Actually,
don't want us
so
talking about it too
she would
much.
take offense to that. She doesn't like have a she doesn't have a quiet library at at her school.
Oh, interesting.
So she doesn't
Yeah.
enforce she gets really upset when there's a stereotypical librarian in movies. Like they're always old and they have like a sweater vest on and they're always like mean and they always shush people. So
Uh-huh.
she is not a huge fan of those stereotypes.
She's not a fan of Silent Library.
Yeah, I don't even know what
Did
that
you ever
is.
watch that show? Oh,
No.
you never watched that show?
No.
It was a show on MTV. I think it was a Japanese show. I could be wrong, so somebody you can correct me. But it was a show on MTV, and the whole point of the game was that you're in a library. That was the setting, and you would have to do certain tasks that probably would make you laugh or would require a lot of noise. But the quieter you were, the more money you would win. And if you were too loud, then you missed out on the opportunity to win money for that round.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
That's interesting. But yeah, she
Yeah.
doesn't like that stereotype. Just like when whenever you watch a movie, I don't maybe it's just because it's my profession, but whenever you watch a movie, if there's like a stereotypical boring job that they talk about, it's always accounting
Uh-huh.
for a man, and then it's like a librarian for a woman.
Hmm.
So like we are the stereotype.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, got off track. The point of the story, she went to this conference and she was talking to fellow librarians, and one of them brought up Fae Farm, the new farming game where you play as a fairy. And she's like, "Have you heard of this game? It's like a farming game, and there's like fairies." I'm like, "Oh yeah, Fae Farm." And she's like, "Well, my friend said that I might like it because of, I don't know if she said cozy, but because of the aesthetic and just the soothing nature of the
Yeah.
game."
Yeah.
So I got it for her. She hasn't played it yet, so I'll let you know if she ever plays it.
Okay. On which Switch is she playing on?
She's playing on the Splatoon Switch.
All right, that's a good Switch.
I gave her the most useless Switch, so.
No, it's got to get the most use.
Yeah, so I even set up like an account for her so she could go online. Like she's part of my family plan now. Like, I set this all up. She's probably not gonna play it. And then I even
You give us-
downloaded Animal Crossing onto the Switch.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was thinking like, what are some other games that were similar to that? And I guess they're all cozy games like Animal Crossing, Fae Farm. I was thinking Stardew Valley, but that one actually kind of stresses me out because that has like a
But
timer.
is considered a cozy game.
That is considered a cozy game. Disney Dreamlight Valley, I think, was another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That a lot of people are upset about right now
Why are they upset about it?
because it was supposed to be free to play and they
Yeah.
backtracked and now it's not free to play.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes.
that.
So it's been in early access for like a year,
Uh-huh.
and they've had all these promises of like, oh yeah, once it goes, the full release will be free to play. And then this past week they're like, oh no, you're still gonna have to pay. Yeah.
Disney's got to make their money somehow.
Exactly. And people like,
Right.
I don't know, Disney adults are like, we talked about this before. Disney adults are Nintendo adults. They are the same group of people. They are usually older millennials that have expendable income that loved these things when they were kids, and now they could buy anything and go to the parks whenever they want.
Yeah.
And buy the stuff in the games. Like they know who they're marketing to.
For sure.
And I do think like cozy games in general are kind of marketed towards an older, like our age, but I don't know how to put this.
I mean, I think cozy games are for anybody that is dealing with stress in their life and just want to relax and play a game that is like you said, that puts them in a good mood versus maybe playing something like Mario Bros. Wonder where you really have to think about platforming and the decisions that you have to make. And obviously, there's harder games out there that will put you in a more stressful mood. But after a long day of work, the last thing you want to do is, it's funny. The last thing I think that I would want to do is make so many choices, but that is a lot of like farming sims. You have to make a lot of choices. And even though maybe it's like mindless choices because it's like, okay, I'm going to go garden. Now I'm going to go fish. Now I'm going to go rearrange the house. Like, to me, that's a lot of different choices that you're making, but somehow it's considered cozy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the cozy games, they don't really have. You can't really screw up, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you accidentally water a plant too long, like it's not gonna completely screw up your save file.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, there's like no like overarching evil
Narrative. Yeah.
There was a. This is from Why Wholesome and Cozy Games Are on the Rise. It says many titles in this subgenre focus on building community and encourage the player to establish heartfelt relationships with the characters they interact with. I know for like Stardew Valley, you can marry people.
Yeah.
So that was I know a lot of people get into that side of things, who they're gonna marry.
Mm-hmm. There was a game recently that came out, Paleo Pines, which is a farming sim, but you are interacting with dinosaurs, and certain dinosaurs can help you with certain farming activities or any other activity that you are needing at the time. You befriend dinosaurs, and I think that's kind of cool. And you could like ride on them too, and it seemed like it was well made. I don't know how well it sold or if it sold that much. But there's also the thing that confuses me is that there's horror cozy games. And like the one that comes to mind is Cult of the Lamb. That was a huge game that popped off.
Is
last
that a
year.
cozy game though?
I think it is. I think that people consider it a cozy game.
Because there is like action in that game. Like you go into dungeons and you fight enemies.
Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm on the spot researching. So I googled horror cozy games.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I'm gonna even know what these are.
But there are, right? There's horror cozy games.
Yeah, there's like the top 20. There's one called Strange Horticulture, which sounds like another farming sim. Yeah, it's a puzzle game. Okay. I think puzzle games could be considered cozy. Oh, Dredge. Dredge was a huge hit this year. I know a lot of people like Dredge.
I don't really know what Dredge is. What was it?
So it's a single player fishing adventure with a sinister undercurrent. Sell your catch, upgrade your boat, and oh man, I kind of want to play this. So that apparently has a horror aspect to it. Layers of fear.
Like spooky fishing.
Yeah, I know there's like a monster that's like lurking in the depths.
Okay.
Says explore a mysterious archipelago and discover why some things are best left forgotten. I have heard really good things from about Dredge.
Yeah. As soon as you like started explaining it, I remember people that were playing it.
What Remains of Edith Finch? That's a walking sim.
Oh yeah, that was a big game. Yeah.
So, see, I don't understand.
Night in the Woods might be considered a cozy game. I did not find it a cozy game.
I think there's a lot. There's an argument, like it's another subjective thing where a lot of games could be considered cozy games. Like, I don't know, Pikmin, that feels pretty cozy.
I would agree. Well,
Pokemon feels pretty cozy.
Well, yeah, but then there's like moments. I mean, I guess even if you are stressed, you can still be cozy, because I'm thinking about Pikmin, and
Yeah,
I
but
remember when just Janie, who we've had on the show before, was playing Pikmin for the first time, left some Pikmin behind, and she was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be back for you." And then she watched them being eaten. Uh, she wasn't gonna get those Pikmin back, and she was like really stressed out about it.
I feel like Pikmin 4 was pretty easy. Like I don't think that there wasn't well, at least the main game, there wasn't much of a challenge. And it was more exploring the world, building your army and finding cool stuff. I would argue that that is a cozy game.
I would also, yeah, I'll jump on that because the whole point of Pikmin 4 is all about Dandori, which
Yeah.
is organization. And one game that really did well, or at least I think did, or I've heard a lot of people talk about, is A Little to the Left,
Oh,
which
that's a
is an
puzzle game, isn't it?
organization.
Yeah.
It's an organization game. I like. I don't really know how it works.
You said
Um,
you said Night in the Woods, right? That's on here.
I did say Night in the Woods. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's on here. Yeah, I mean a lot of
and
these.
that
I mean a lot of these are indie games, like it
yeah.
said. Oh, Pentiment. That's supposed to be a really good game. It's from Obsidian Entertainment.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yeah, it seems like it's a lot of games that are not action focused. They're not. Um, yeah, I think they're not action focused. They're not. They're more trying to be relaxing.
Mhm.
But I feel like Layers of Fear is on here, and I think that is a straight up horror game, isn't it?
I have no idea.
It's a narrative focused psychological horror experience. It's ready. Yeah. I don't know. Now I want to buy Dredge.
So, I guess like when we were talking about it, you said that it's a lot of independent companies, developers that are making a cozy game, and I was like, ah man, I wonder what a Nintendo cozy game would be like. And then I
Animal
was like, oh
Crossing.
yeah, Animal Crossing.
So
It's
I'm on this website and the picture of like the top of the article is Animal
yeah.
Crossing.
So, do you think that is where cozy gaming started
I mean,
with Animal Crossing?
I think we've had cozy games for a long time, but I don't think they were ever defined as cozy. Like I feel like the cozy adjective is a relatively new way to describe these.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm trying to like Animal Crossing's been around since the GameCube era.
Yeah.
So that's 20 plus years. I mean, we've had farming like Harvest Moon. That's been
Yeah.
around
Yeah. Yeah.
since
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So we've had farming
Sims.
Sims. Yeah, Sims. I would say that's a cozy game as well. So I think we've had cozy games forever. It's just now that there's a more defined aspect, or there's more defined things that go into a cozy game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are like they consider themselves cozy gamers or cozy streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually have Locklith coming in next week,
Yeah.
and she does a lot of cozy titles, right? She plays a lot of cozy titles.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot. Like anytime that if you're following her on her socials, it's usually a game that I've never heard of, but something that she is looking forward to because it's on her radar.
There's
Their radar.
I think when we decided to choose this topic, I had said something to you like, "Oh, I used to get annoyed at hearing the word cozy."
Uh-huh.
And I don't know why. I have no idea why. It just kind of irritated me that everybody was calling themselves cozy gamers or cozy streamers.
Uh-huh.
But now that I'm more mature, I think it's okay to be a
Well,
cozy
I mean,
gamer. Besides,
Well, I think we can get into that. Like, there is a stigma around, like, if you're playing cozy games, are you a gamer? The answer is yes. But why do you think that there are people that say the opposite?
because of how the games look.
Hmm.
Like they're clearly more they're clearly designed to appeal to a more feminine audience. Uh like or even a younger audience. So like I remember when Animal Crossing came out, Animal Crossing New Horizons. It was a huge, like everybody played it, right? Everybody played Animal Crossing. 40 million copies sold, but there was this weird, like you said, stigma around if you only play Animal Crossing, does that make you a gamer?
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, I know there was a lot of stuff on like comment sections of this is not right. You should not do this. But a lot of comment sections of like female gamers saying, "Oh, I bet she only plays Animal Crossing."
Yeah. Yeah.
Or something like that.
Hmm.
It's not the. I mean, gaming is still a boys' club, or people think it's a boys' club.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So when something is trying to appeal to a different audience, or something that doesn't fall into that box, that masculine, oh, I'm a man,
Yeah.
I got hair on my chest from playing this game.
Yeah.
Like if it's not that, I mean, we see it even with Nintendo games. Like, I mean, I get trashed on every day about playing Nintendo games as a 36-year-old man.
Oh yeah, because they are looked at as childish.
Yeah, and I think cozy games fall in that same. Like they might not, they're probably not seen as childish, but they're seen as feminine, which is apparently
Or
bad to some people.
what's the point? Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. And like I did a research paper on just gaming and how it's not for a specific um gender, that just kind of how it fell in line. Like with the Game Boy, at least they had to figure out where they were going to market it. Are they going to market it in the boy section or the girls section? Because that's just how toys were at that time, and everything needing a place to be. And then the Game Boy is just a play on words of the Sony Walkman, so they went off of that. And yeah, I mean, this is a
It's
different
Game
tangent.
Boy, not Game Girl.
Right. Well, no, a lot of peers has said on Nintendo voice chat before that she didn't have a Game Boy because she didn't think that she was allowed to play it because it was a Game Boy.
That's messed up. I mean, I do. I mean, we're two cishet white men.
Yeah.
We can't. I don't know how it really is for like the female gender to deal with this every day, but I do think that does play into it. Why
Yeah,
why
I
people don't
agree.
see this as gamers? I mean, I think if you play any game, like you're a gamer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I actually said that to my mother-in-law today, just like jokingly, but I still think it counts. She was talking about like some of the games that she plays for the New York Times. Like they have the Wordle and Connections and like the crossword puzzle and spelling bee and all of that stuff. And she was sharing her results with me, and they're like really impressive. But those are games. So I mean, like, I think that if you're playing a game, even if it's a mobile game, you're a gamer.
Yeah, yeah. My mom used to play Candy Crush all the time.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of there's a stigma between, like I don't know what these people think or an actual is like what makes you a gamer. Um, because there's a stigma with mobile games. Like if you say, "Oh, I just play mobile games," like, "Oh, well, you're not really a gamer." If you play Nintendo games, it's like, "Oh, well, you're a grown adult, like you shouldn't be playing that. You play these cozy games. Oh, these are not real games.
Yeah.
Like what is a game? What is a true gamer? You have to have a PC, PlayStation 5, or Xbox Series X. Only play Starfield, Vampire Survivors,
Mm-hmm.
and Spider-Man.
You just mentioned Vampire Survivors again.
I think Vampire Survivors is a cozy game.
I mean, I guess you zone out because you forget where you are. You've spent like hours playing Vampire Survivors because it takes 30-minute runs.
Yeah. I also think so the I don't know if research what's the right word for this. The increasing popularity in cozy games is because so many people got into gaming during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So like so many people got into Animal Crossing during the pandemic that probably weren't even playing games before that, right? There's probably a lot of people.
Right.
You know, I picked up new hobbies in the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this new player base that has been introduced to these cozy games. They want more games like that.
Yeah.
And now we see, you know, Animal Crossing had a huge popularity because, and now you see all those farming sims. I feel like we get a farming sim like every month now.
Yeah. It does make me wonder because I was just thinking like there is a farming, or it's not a farming sim, but there's a cozy game that is like you get to take care of a greenhouse. Forget what it's called, but it's just like all plants. And it makes me wonder if I was to play that game, would I actually learn how to take care of a plant and different kinds of plants?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I feel like if you were playing a farming sim, you wouldn't know how to grow pumpkins. Because
Well, sure,
all you do in the like to grow a pumpkin is you plant seeds and then you water it. That is how you grow a pumpkin. I don't know.
Yeah, we just haven't tried.
That might be a challenge. Maybe we have to try to grow a pumpkin. So this article is talking about cozy gaming's essential vibes. And it's interesting because they say like, you know, shooters don't have a vibe, or like turn-based strategy games don't have a vibe. That's what they are. Like you don't get a feeling. Mm-hmm. But cozy games are defined by the way they make you feel, right? You feel relaxed, you feel happy. And that's very interesting to me. It's not based on the gameplay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because like we just talked about how a horror game could be a cozy game, but then also you have the farming sim as a cozy game. So it's based on how you feel as opposed to.
I think you bring up a really good point because earlier you were saying like there's not really a good way to screw up a cozy game. And I think that's the answer, is that after you are done working and maybe it was like a really rough day, you get to go home, you get to play a cozy game, and you're doing things right that gives you the dopamine hit of like, I feel really good in this moment because of things that I'm doing in this game.
So does that mean essentially any game could be considered a cozy game?
I mean, I said it at the beginning.
Yeah, if like you're just that. Yeah. I feel like that's the answer. Like if you feel relaxed when playing any type of game, like that is a cozy game for you. Like I think I talk about this a lot. I play From Software games at the weirdest times. Like during busy season, I like to play like From Software games. Like I played Lies of P. That's not From Software, but that is a Souls-like game. I played that in the heat of busy season. And you would think that it would stress you out more, but it was actually more relaxing. So is that a cozy game for me? I don't know.
Well, I think if they're going to define it, what they need to do is have a study of people playing the game, and then they hook a heart monitor up to them.
Well, I don't know. Have you seen people that play like horror or stream horror games, or really any game? A lot of people have heartbeat monitors on stream.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one with like Alien. I forget what is that game called?
Isolation.
Alien. Yeah, Isolation.
So, oh yeah, who is this? I want to. So this person's name's Lucy. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say her name, but I don't know how to say her last name. It's like Lescuer.
You
But
did good.
she said people need a label right now so they can understand that the game is different. It's non-violent, but that label may disappear in a few years because it will become normal for everyone to play those types of games. So right now, a cozy game could mean non-violent, colorful,
Hmm.
cartoonish graphics.
Yeah.
But down the line, a cozy game could be hyper realistic, could have fighting, could have whatever, just because it's a
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
They talk about Breath of the Wild, and I could see that being cozy because you don't have I understand that it has combat and there are spots that you can get stressed out about, but most of it is exploration and
Hmm.
like talking to
Cooking?
NPCs.
Cooking is a big one.
Cooking, yeah. And you could figure out all of the recipes.
Yeah. Just thinking about Breath of the Wild, it's the way that like the grass moves and you're like creeping in the grass, but also the music. The music is what makes it really calming at times. At times, if you run into a guardian, it's not very cozy anymore. But that has to be a big part of it too, right? It's like the music that you hear in these games definitely set the mood.
Yeah. Yeah, and from my 10 minutes of research and my current research,
Uh-huh.
my
Expertise.
expertise is telling me that if it makes you feel a certain way, if it makes you feel relaxed, I think you could call that game cozy. Even if it has combat, even if it has stressful situations. I mean, reading this, I could see how any Nintendo game could be cozy. I do think
Metroid?
Animal Crossing 100%. Okay, maybe not Metroid. That might not be that cozy. Except for, well, I take that back. Metroid Prime, I could see being a cozy game because that's not very combat focused. That's more exploration.
Oh no, man. There's times where you have bugs that are just flying at your face.
Okay.
That's not very
Maybe
cozy.
Metroid won't count. Smash Brothers probably wouldn't count. A fighting game, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do think Pikmin. I would give a strong argument, except for the first one. That one
Yeah, that one's
is not
stressful.
cozy. That was stressful. So if you're listening to this and you're a cozy gamer, you only play cozy games, don't pick up Pikmin 1. Play Pikmin 4.
Yeah. Pikmin 3 is also kind of stressful because you have the juice. You got to keep getting the fruits to get juice, and that's like how your life.
You get like a way more than enough juice. I know it gets stolen at some point, but
Mhm.
that they made it much easier in 2, 3, and 4. Like there's no overarching timeline on those ones. Like 1.
I wonder
Kirby?
too. Oh, Kirby definitely. Well,
That game's there's no stress whatsoever in that game.
for you and I. So okay, we were talking about like there's people that just started playing games because of Animal Crossing and how cozy it was. But if they start playing Kirby, they might feel a different way that is a little more stressful than what they were playing in cozy games.
That's true. That's true.
There's no combat in Animal Crossing unless you hit your friend in the head with a net.
There's a combat trying to get rid of the villagers you don't want.
Yeah. Yeah.
The puzzle solving games, I think would be cozy.
Maybe it's just having the choice. Like I said earlier, for me, I think it would be stressful making choices, but the fact that you even have choices is better than, what you have to do in a Mario game, which is get to the end.
Yeah, yeah. This also has a piece of the article saying a genre targeting a gender. It says among developers, there's a general agreement that while the cozy audience skews slightly towards women and girls, the genre's future demographic is unclear. For sure, plenty of men enjoy cozy games. Animal Crossing New Horizons players' gender split was about even, but online fan communities tend to be a majority of women. This is rarely true of other definable genres outside the mobile and online spheres.
Well,
So,
okay, so I'll give a shout out to Jeff Troyvania, who has told us time and time again to play Power Wash Simulator. I can see how that would be so calming and be considered a cozy game.
people do love Power Wash Simulator, and any of those simulators. There's a farming simulator,
Mm-hmm.
and I forget what it was. It was like it sold more than some major release. I forget what game that was, but like the most recent farming simulator sold more than some major release.
Now I was trying to find online. There was at least in the past couple years, we've had like a cozy direct, right? Or
Did we?
what's it called? Yeah, it's like Good Vibes or not Good
Oh,
Vibes Gaming. That's something different. Um, I wish I could remember what it was, but one of our friends who I would love to get on the show, who goes under the name uh, Cozy Games, was the host of it, or one of the hosts.
yeah, and her whole aesthetic is cozy gaming.
It's very, yeah. I mean, like if you look at her TikTok, her Instagram page, she definitely knows what is a cozy vibe.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, and like when you watch, I see cozy TikToks come up all the time, and they all have a similar vibe, but like,
Hmm.
oh, this is a cozy. Like I saw one actually, I saw one just today for Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and it wasn't them playing the game. It was just like the aesthetic of their setup and like getting the game ready,
Huh.
and just like it was a cozy video. It was a cozy video.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they consider Mario cozy, but they made the aesthetic very cozy. But like when I see
Huh.
those videos, I just feel like warm inside, or they kind of remind me of fall. Like
Yeah.
just it just
Yeah.
feels like fall,
Yep.
like a lot of warm colors and just relaxing atmosphere.
Hmm.
And I mean that's what there's definitely like when a game is cozy. There's no real debate on like I think if like a new farming sim came out, you would be able to tell like, oh yeah, that's cozy. That's like people are gonna call that a cozy game.
Uh-huh.
I think where the question comes up is, well, are all these other games cozy as well?
Right. Which I don't think they are. I mean, I don't know. Like you could argue if it makes you feel a certain way, then it's a cozy game. But the way that the games look maybe has something to say about like how it is represented.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm not well versed in. I don't play too many.
I was gonna ask, what is the last cozy game that you have played?
I mean, I
that you
played.
think would be like considered a cozy game?
I mean, Animal Crossing for sure.
Yeah.
I tried to play Stardew Valley. Couldn't really get into it. There are a bunch of indie games that are probably considered cozy, like a lot of those heavy story focused games. One that just came out is Deep Diver Dave,
Diver Dan.
or yeah, whatever it is,
Oh,
just
it
came
is. Let's
out.
see. Yeah.
I don't know if that would be considered a cozy game. Probably. You you go fishing and then you sell the fish.
We were close. It's Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver, that just came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I can't think of like actual cozy games that I played. What about you?
I mean, Animal Crossing is the biggest one. I love Captain Toad, so I'm going to shout that out because I do think that that could be considered a cozy game.
I don't know.
It's
That
not
game's
very...
stressful.
Is it stressful? Like, are you being
Yeah.
serious? How, why?
Some of those puzzles get kind of stressful.
But isn't, like, okay, there's no combat. I mean, like, Toad can't even jump, so you have to figure
Well,
out
there
ways
is
for
combat. Well, there's enemies
like,
that you have to avoid.
accidentally combat.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. Unless it's like in your face cozy, I don't know what makes a cozy game.
Yeah, I don't know. If you have a cat in it, I think that's cozy.
I would agree. If there's a cat,
There's
in
a
the
cat
game.
in the game. All right, so now we got to rethink all the games that have cats in them.
There's yeah, I would love to know people. Hopefully, people listening or tell us what cozy games they've played.
Yeah. What is a cozy game? Can you just do the homework
Yeah,
for us?
could you do it for us? I mean, this article is actually really good. I like this article. It's from Games Industry, and like there's a spot here that says what cozy gamers want most of all. And it says a repeated refrain among developers is that emotional resonance, pacing, and vibe are the most important features of a cozy game. It says pacing is important, allowing the player to play at whatever pace they want. That is.
Huh. Well, we talk about it a lot as content creators. We always feel like we have to beat the game. You and I, we beat the game Super Mario Bros. Wonder like within 3 days.
Yeah.
And most of that is because we were enjoying it. It was fun, but also for the sake of content, we had to play. And just timing wise too, like if you don't play that weekend, there's probably a good chance that you're not going to get to the game because of just how busy you are. But with a cozy game, you don't really have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about spoilers. So you just
unless
play
you're
on your
playing
own
Animal
time.
Crossing.
Yeah.
I remember I paid off my loans in Animal Crossing really fast. And now that that game's 3 years out from release of that game, and I know a lot of people still play it. They still play it. They still talk to their villagers every day. And maybe that is the way I should have played that game.
Oh, wait a minute. You're saying that like you shouldn't have rushed the game
but there's
for
so
a cozy
much,
game?
There's so
Is that
much
what you're
stuff.
saying, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean that's the vibe. You're supposed to play that every day.
I feel like I should be owed an apology.
But like when the next Animal Crossing comes out, I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Because I don't have the patience to.
But that's the point of
But
it.
it's like
That's what I've
so
been
like there's so
trying to
much
say.
other stuff to play. There's so much other stuff to play. I don't want to log into Animal Crossing, dig up 2 fossils, and then find out I probably already have those 2 fossils, and then the stores are probably closed by the time I even log in. Yeah, it's that is not the type of gameplay that I like, apparently.
Well, maybe that is something that they will fix, at least with like the store hours, because most of these cozy games really don't have restrictions. And Animal Crossing does have restrictions. And it seems like they were kind of easing up on those with New Horizons, especially with the islands that you could go to that were seasonal islands.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it was kind of like, okay, well, what's the point of the internal clock if you're just going to let people go to the islands that where they can get like the fish that they can only get during the winter time?
Because
Stuff
nobody
like that.
wants to wait 6 months to get that fish. So that's what I did like about Stardew Valley. Like, it didn't go off of the internal clock. It went off of, the gameplay clock. So you could, do the winter activities in summer, like in real summer. So I doubt now that we're how many entries into Animal Crossing that they're going to change it that much. Like, we'll still have this internal clock thing. But yeah, now with all of these other, I'll be interested to see how much Animal Crossing takes from all of these other cozy games.
Yeah.
If they change anything, or if Animal Crossing is just going to be separate, because they did add like a farming aspect a little bit, but not.
They did. Yeah.
Not too much. I do think.
And cooking got added.
Yeah, kind of. And crafting got added. That was the main feature of the game.
Yep.
I do think Animal Crossing is a cozy game, and now I think cozy games are bigger than ever, and they're going to continue to grow in size. We're going to keep getting farming sims, even though people like us are probably going to moan when we see 6 farming sim trailers in a row in a Nintendo Direct.
I mean, that's it. It's good for everyone. Like there's always a game for someone, right? So even if it's not for us, then it's for someone else, and good for them.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people out there were excited for like Harvest Moon, whatever the new one is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're almost at an hour, and I think my conclusion is cozy games are a feeling. So if you feel relaxed and you have that general warmth feeling, that's a cozy game.
I think we will hear from Locklith next week. Locklith is from the Nintendo Drive, part of Carpool Gaming. So if you have any questions for them, leave them, because they probably will have a good answer for you. And I don't know. We'll learn more of what a cozy game is, because there's many different routes you could go with this.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. Make sure we forgot to shout out the patrons.
Oh yeah.
New patron Jailer. So thank you for subscribing to the Patreon. Thanks Mikey and Jeff Troidvania to continue support. And if you're not currently a Patreon is it a patron? Patreon?
The patron. Yeah.
Patron. Check out the Patreon. Check out all our socials. And we'll answer your questions next week.